What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Horsemen Sports, where we continue division debates. This time, we're starting the NFC East, and we're going to start with the Dallas Cowboys, who last year in 2022 had a 12-5 record. And you ask, did they get better or did they get worse in this offseason? And to me, the Cowboys are relatively the same as they were last season, but adding Brandon Cooks to the offense and trading for Stephon Gilmore for the defense should have a noticeable impact on the team in 2023. Other guys that you could see have an effect on the team are going to be guys like Ronald Jones, who is signed to replace Ezekiel Elliott, and Luke Schoonmaker, who's drafted in the second round in 2023 to replace Dalton Schultz. Talking about these guys, Ronald Jones is a lot like Zeke, honestly, at this point, but he's cheaper. So obviously, you go with Jones instead of Zeke. Then you look at Schoonmaker. He's been on the NFI list with a plantar fascia injury and recently had a setback, but he's supposed to be getting back to practice this week, but presumably in a limited fashion. And while he's not there, Jake Ferguson is taking first team reps for the Cowboys. And overall, I honestly think the Cowboys offense is very good. They're just not deep at all. If you look at the roster, it's not a very deep offense at all. And injuries happen to every team in the NFL. So when they get injuries, like they're in trouble, right? They're going to need a lot of luck in order to stay the course this year on offense, in my opinion, right? And if they do start to pile up the injuries, then they're going to need Dak Prescott to be the best version of himself. He can talk about not throwing the interceptions all he wants, but even as somebody who's been a Dak believer for a long time, like what we saw last year just wasn't it, man. Like you got to come in, you got to be better. Say anything you want, it's not going to matter. You got to put it on tape. And as of right now, he's throwing a bunch of interceptions in practice too. So he's going to have to figure it out. And he's going to, again, have to be the best version of himself if the Cowboys want to have success when the injuries start piling up. All right. So, real quickly, just looking at what Dak did last year, kind of go with what I'm talking about. He played in 12 games and he had 2,860 yards, 23 touchdowns, but 15 interceptions, which totaled a total QBR of 57.9. Now, he does have an elevated level of talent around him at wide receiver. I think that could help. But again, it's really going to be on him. The defense is going to do what they do. That Cowboys defense is very good. I expect him to once again be very good. So, with that, the offense is going to have to pick it up. Okay, so with all that out of the way, let's talk about some of the Cowboys schedule. What are the important games? What games do we need to be looking out for? Week 1 at the Giants. Okay, you start the season with a division game. All right, and doing that is pretty tough. I don't know why the NFL keeps doing that every year. More and more teams are starting the season with a division game, and I don't like that. I think starting the season with somebody that knows you so well is counterintuitive and counterproductive to what the NFL could be and what the NFL season could be. I think you should be starting with teams, probably in the other conference, honestly. Teams that you don't see very often should be those week 1 games, in my opinion. But outside of that, that was a little bit of a rant. My apologies. But look, the Giants are a possible playoff team, so winning this game would be a big step in the right direction. But I have the Cowboys actually losing in week 1 to an upgraded Giants squad. Okay, so they start the season 0-1, move on to week 2 where they play the Jets. McCarthy and Rodgers are both in new places now, and that's going to be the storyline coming into this game, right? It's just McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers, both in separate places. Who's going to get the best of each other, the way the situations are now, right? And look, this is going to be a marquee matchup. The Jets are supposed to be a playoff team, and the Cowboys are the Cowboys. A lot of eyes are going to be on this football game, but I also have the Cowboys losing this game, and they start the season 0-2. Then as the season continues, I have the Cowboys winning the next 5 games, including wins against the 49ers and the Chargers. Okay, and then look at weeks 19 and 14. You're playing the Eagles, okay? And the Eagles are the standard in the NFC East right now. And if the Cowboys have any hopes of winning this division or really even getting in the playoffs, they're going to need to win at least one of these games, okay? And in the end, I have both teams winning their home games. I think these are two really good teams. I do think the Eagles are a better football team than the Cowboys, but these are supposed to be two really good football teams. So I thought giving each of them their home game was the simplest way to go about trying to figure out who's winning a division game. And then you look at weeks 15 to 17, Cowboys play the Bills, Dolphins, and Lions. And all three of these teams are very likely going to be playoff teams. And, at this point, it's almost playoff time. Teams are getting into their final form, ready to get into the playoffs. So these are going to be very difficult games for the Cowboys. And I have the Cowboys losing all three of these games again to the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Lions. Okay, but then you move to week 18, where the Cowboys are in Washington to play the Commanders for week 18. Look, this is a win and get in kind of game, but if you lose and the Giants win against the Eagles, you get the 7 seed, right? So you're either, if they win this game in my projections, if they win week 18, they get the 6 seed. If they lose in week 18, they'll end up with a 7 seed. But either way, 3 teams from this division make the playoffs. So the Giants would then be the 6 seed. But again, the way I have it, the Cowboys finish the season 11-6 and the 6th seed in the NFC. And I'd love to know, what do you think about what I had to say about the Cowboys? What do you think about the Cowboys season and how they'll do? You let me know down in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. Keep coming back every day for more division debates as we lead right into the NFL season. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you for the next video.